Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to moddriven. So I announced recently that I'm bringing a Toyota Prius, of all cars, to this channel. And a couple questions I've gotten is, why the Prius? Why not something like, I don't know, say the Tesla? I mean, if you're jumping into hybrid / electric, why not go with the Tesla? And I thought about that myself. There's a couple reasons, first off, why I wouldn't go for a Tesla. Number one is I simply don't like the looks of them. Not the lower trim levels, if you will, the threes. I just don't really dig the design. I think they're a little too blobby, if that makes any sense. I don't hate the car, but it just doesn't really appeal to me aesthetically right off the bat. And I always have to fall in love with the vehicles that I get. I do that quite frequently, right? And I haven't fallen in love with the Tesla, at least not the lower trims. The higher trim levels that cost beaucoup bucks, some of those are pretty cool. I dig those. Secondly, I didn't want a totally, fully electric vehicle because I don't think we're there yet. I don't think that we have the grid, the number of charging stations to make it convenient to drive around in a Tesla, especially where I'm located. You know, there are a few charging stations around, but not the high-powered ones, the super-duper chargers. I forget what they're called. Tesla has a name for everything, you know. And I didn't want to have to wait. You know, I can go to the gas station, fill up, and be gone. I mean, I don't usually run into the store and grab drinks and food and all that stuff. I don't have to use the restroom when I'm just running errands and things, you know. So it's a lot of wasted time, I think, for me. Even if it's just 30 minutes or whatever. I mean, I can fill up in 10 minutes or less, you know, maybe 5 minutes. Put the old nozzle in, hit the pump, and go. Secondly, on that note, the charger. You know, you can plug it in, I guess, via an adapter to a 110, a normal household outlet, if you will, but it takes much longer. So you really have to have someone come in and put the charger in, the station, all that stuff, and screw with that. I didn't want to have to do that either. I'm just not comfortable enough yet having a solely electric vehicle. I really just don't think we're there. I think it's really more of a novelty thing still right now, even though you are seeing them all over the place. I mean, there are a lot of them, but it's just not for me yet. I do like the acceleration of them. I like that you're able to get rid of gas and just plug in. We just need more infrastructure and quicker charging times, I guess. So why the Toyota Prius? Well, as I mentioned, I have to fall in love with vehicles before I buy them. I've never bought a vehicle that I didn't really, really like. Love may be a bit of a strong word. I mean, it is just a piece of metal, right? But the Prius did that for me. And it's ironic because I've said a lot of things about the Prius on my channels. I have 3 channels. And it's never been a favorite of mine. I never liked the looks of it. I certainly never liked the power of it. It was a dog. I mean, 0 to 60 in, what, 3.5 days, something like that? I mean, I always felt like I could run faster, and not really, than a Prius. But now it's much, much different. The Prius is actually gorgeous. I love the looks of it. What Toyota has done with the Prius, to me, is amazing. It's almost unbelievable how they've taken a car that was so ugly, in my opinion, and unappealing, and turned it into what we've got now, what's out there. I also like that it's a hybrid. You know, there's been some talk that why did Toyota put out a hybrid? Why didn't they just go fully electric on the Prius? And I think Toyota has a little bit of insight there, and that they realize there's a market out here, like me, of people that aren't comfortable with a fully electric yet, and still maybe willing to buy a hybrid where you have the option of an electric motor and a gas motor, so that you don't have to, or a gas engine, so that you don't have to solely depend on electric. I love that. Now, one, and I'll admit it, probably mistake that I made which actually, maybe not so much, is that I didn't just go right to the Prime. What I'm getting, or what I've gotten, it depends on when this video airs, and when the car actually comes in, is the XLE. It's the XLE trim level. It's the gas/hybrid, which means it has a gas engine and a hybrid system. Now, the Prime has a better mix, I think, in that you still have the gas system, but you have a more robust, stronger hybrid motor, and that allows you to drive solely on electric for up to, I believe it's 44 miles, depending on which trim level you get of the Prime. For me, in the driving that I do these days, that would mean I would solely be driving on electric, because frankly, I don't really exceed 44 miles in one trip very often. Now, if I was deciding to take a cross-country trip or something, then obviously I would exhaust the 44 miles of electric, and then it would switch over to gas, which is what I like. I'm never going to be stranded in the Prius, no matter which trim level I get currently, because I run out of juice, because I run out of electric. Now, the other thing I like about it is it comes set up so that you can plug it into a household outlet. And this is where I made my mistake. I assumed that it was solely electric, that there was no gas-powered engine to go with it, and that you had to use a charging station. You had to put one in your house to be able to keep it charged. I was wrong. You can put one in your house. It'll cost you, I'm guessing, probably somewhere around $1,000 once you go ahead, buy the unit, and then have an electrician come and put it in. There is a labor feature or labor component to that, right? But anyway, I was wrong. So for me, I think the current one that I get, assuming that I like it, will probably be a stepping stone to the Prius. The other reason, most recently with the Prius, I mean, let's face it, I could cancel the order that I have right now. I have a deposit down. I'm not doing that. But I could, and then try to find a Prime. But there are none. I have searched within a 500-mile radius of where I live, and there are no Primes available. Obviously none in stock, nothing is, and not even any that show in transit or sale pending even. So I think it's going to take Toyota probably another few months before they actually have any kind of available inventory for the Prime. That will give me a good period of time to be able to test out the Prius, the next lower trim level, or the second lower trim level, I guess, when looking at the Prime, and figure out if I really like it. One thing that I am looking forward to with the Prime down the road is its increased torque and horsepower, if you will. I think it's going to be a blast to drive. It's I believe a 6-point-some-odd second 0 to 60 car, so it should be a heck of a lot of fun. Anyway, those are my reasons. I just wanted to get on. I've been getting a few questions about that. Why? And I know I'll get more. Why didn't you go for the Prime, the Big Daddy? Why did you opt for the XLE? There you have it. That's it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Did I make a mistake? Should I have held out, waited for the Prime? Or is this a good way to proceed and kind of get my feet wet before I jump full bore into a bigger or more capable, I guess, version of the Prius? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.